Okay, we have done utility maximization in two goods case. Now we look at n goods case. What's different in n goods is we cannot draw the graphs. Okay, so like I keep saying that the world is three-dimensional, but in economics we can have as many goods as there are. So n could be any number, could be as large as you can imagine. So how do you do it in the n goods case? How do you do utility maximization in the n goods case? So what we are essentially doing is constraint optimization. Constraint optimization. So in math, there is a standard way to deal with constraint optimization, and that's Lagrangian technique. So we are going to use the Lagrangian technique to do this. So the objective problem of the consumer is to maximize utility given the budget constraint. Okay, so the ux, so here x is basically equal to x1 x2 xn, so x is a vector, so this x is a vector, so utility as a function of x, so that's what the consumer is trying to maximize, such that I minus px, that's income minus expenditure, is equal to 0. Okay, technically what he is trying to do is to maximize u of x such that p dot x is less than equal to I. So if I rearrange this thing, I get I minus p dot x is greater than equal to 0. But remember the three assumptions. The three assumptions ensure that the point would be on the budget line. It will never be on the interior of the budget line. The budget line will not shift. The budget line will remain linear. So all those three assumptions make sure that this thing is equal to 0. Now this thing being equal to 0 is important because that is the kind of constraint, an equality constraint is what Lagrange can handle. An inequality constraint, you require Kuhn-Tucker. So we won't be doing Kuhn-Tucker as part of this course because it is not really required for us to do Kuhn-Tucker. But remember that the constraint has to be an equality for the application of Lagrange. Okay. Now we are doing Lagrange in the context of utility maximization, but remember that Lagrangian technique can handle any constraint optimization as long as the constraint is an equality and not an inequality. Okay, so if you get a constraint like maximize marks such that study hours is less than equal to 3 weeks. So this is not a utility maximization problem. This is maximizing marks given some kind of constraint. So you remember that if you can convert this inequality into an equality, you can apply Lagrange. So wherever you have a constraint which is an equality, you can use the application of Lagrange. Okay. So now let's move on to the Lagrangian technique. So in the Lagrangian technique, this is the objective problem and this is the constraint. So you set up your Lagrange in this manner that you say if the objective problem is to maximize u of x1 to xn such that I minus p1 x1 till pn xn is equals to 0. So I've just expanded p dot x and I've expanded this x vector. So this is what I can write. So this is my constraint and this is my function which I want to optimize. वेक्टर हमारा वेक्टर इज बेसिकली किसी भी पॉइंट की जो लोकेशन होती है हमारे गूगल मैप्स पे, ठीक है, तो उसमें तीन चीजें होती है. वन इज द लैटिट्यूड, द अदर इज द लॉन्जिट्यूड एंड द थर्ड इज द एल्टीट्यूड. ठीक है, सो हम गूगल मैप पे किसी भी चीज की लोकेशन देखते हैं, जैसे इस कोचिंग क्लास की अगर मैं लोकेशन देखूं, ठीक है, so the location of the coaching class will be these three things. So this location is actually a vector of these three parameters. ठीक है, so उसके अंदर एक latitude parameter है which is basically जो हमारे अर्थ पे horizontal lines बनाते थे हम बचपन में, these are latitudes. Equator is 0 degree, नॉर्थ पोल साउथ पोल 180 डिग्री नॉर्थ एंड 180 डिग्री साउथ, ठीक है। सो इस टाइप के हमारे लैटिट्यूड्स होते थे। तो लैटिट्यूड इन्फॉर्मेशन बताता है कि कौन से लैटिट्यूड पे मैं हूँ। देन लॉन्जिट्यूड इज बेसिकली जो वर्टिकल लाइंस निकलती थी, ठीक है। जो प्राइम मेरिडियन हम बोलते हैं वो ज्यादा इंग्लैंड से जो पास कर रहा है, दैट इज प्राइम मेरिडियन 0 डिग्री एंड देन यू हैव till 180 degree east and 180 degree west, so that is your longitudes। and finally altitude is कि तुम sea level से कितना ऊपर। so ये तीन चीजों को मिला के you get the location of anything। so the location vector is basically 3 parameters कि latitude क्या है तुम्हारा, longitude क्या है तुम्हारा और altitude क्या है तुम्हारा। वैसे ही the bundle that I am consuming, so let's say there are different goods, there is milk, there is butter, there's cars, there's electricity, there's water। let's say ये 5 goods मैं consume कर रहा हूँ। so the consumption x will be a vector in milk, butter, cars, electricity and water। ये पांचों चीजों को पैरामीटर्स को मिला के तुम्हारा कंजम्पशन का वेक्टर बनेगा। so this consumption vector, it includes information about the amount of milk that you're consuming, the amount of butter that you're consuming, the amount of car that you're consuming, electricity you're consuming and water you're consuming। so vector is something which has information about multiple parameters at the same point of time, ठीक है। so your utility, it depends on ये सारी चीजों की values। so utility depends on milk कितना consume कर रहे हो, butter कितना consume कर रहे हो, cars कितनी, electricity कितनी, water कितना। so you can just write this as a utility of x, where x vector represents just this thing। so बार बार ये 5 चीजें लिखना नहीं है मुझे। so इन 5 चीजों के combination को मैं vector बोल रहा हूँ। so that's all there is। now the expenditure will be given a quantity of milk, let's say milk was 5, butter was 5, car was 1, electricity 100, water 1000। so the expenditure that you do would be 5 into price of milk plus 5 into price of butter plus 1 into price of car plus 100 into price of electricity plus 1000 into price of water। okay, so it could be seen as 5 into this plus 5 into this plus 1 into this price plus 100 into this price plus 1000 into this price। so easier way to write this is 5 100 1000 dot pm pb pc pe pw। ये डॉट प्रोडक्ट होता है। डॉट प्रोडक्ट में तुम फर्स्ट टर्म को फर्स्ट टर्म से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे, सेकेंड टर्म को सेकेंड टर्म से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे, थर्ड टर्म को थर्ड टर्म से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे, फोर्थ टर्म को फोर्थ टर्म से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे एंड फिफ्थ टर्म को फिफ्थ टर्म से मल्टीप्लाई करोगे। दैट्स योर डॉट प्रोडक्ट। नाउ गिवन दिस डॉट प्रोडक्ट you can write this entire thing as just your x vector। okay, this is the quantity that you are consuming and this thing as your price vector, this is the vector of prices। हाँ, नहीं कर सकते तुम। हाँ 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 ऑब्वियसली। नहीं, वो तो टाइम तो अलग हो गया, तो फिजिक्स के डायमेंशन में चले गए। तो मैं तो अभी भी कार्टेशियन डायमेंशन में हूँ। हाँ हाँ, दे आर म्यूचुअली परपेंडिकुलर। एज इन डायरेक्शन भी होगी। हाँ, डायरेक्शन भी होगी ऑब्वियसली। क्या? हाँ वही, वेक्टर हैज टू हैव डायरेक्शन एंड मैग्नीट्यूड। तुम नहीं देख सकते इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी डायरेक्शन नहीं है। तुम टाइम देख सकते हो, तुम नहीं देख सकते इसका मतलब तो हवा भी नहीं है। डायरेक्शन यही होगी, जैसे इसका डायरेक्शन है 5 5 100 1000, ये डायरेक्शन हो गया। मैग्नीट्यूड तो तुम अंडर रूट समेशन एक्स आई स्क्वायर, दैट इज मैग्नीट्यूड। पूरा जो मैथ है वो पूरा सेम है। मैथ कुछ अलग नहीं है, जो तुम 2 डायमेंशन में पढ़ते हो या 3 डायमेंशन में पढ़ते हो उसको एक्सट्रापोलेट कर दो किसी भी डायमेंशन में, मैथ इज गोइंग टू बी द सेम। ठीक है, मैथ पूरा बना ही इसलिए कि वो किसी भी डायमेंशन को हैंडल कर सके, वरना तो अलग अलग डायमेंशन के लिए अलग अलग मैथ पढ़ते रहो, दैट विल बी सच अ वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम। तो मैथ पूरा सेम है, डायरेक्शन भी वही है, मैग्नीट्यूड भी वही है, तुम इमेजिन नहीं कर सकते इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि चीजें एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रही है। Alright, so that brings us back to Lagrange. Lagrange is utility plus so उसको Lagrange function को बनाते कैसे हैं? So what I have to do is to maximize u of x vector such that I minus p vector dot x vector equals to 0. So is greater than equal to मैंने equal to कर दिया because I am assuming those 3 assumptions. So those 3 assumptions are very crucial for me to make this inequality into an equality. Utility maximization is not dependent on those 3 assumptions. What is dependent on these 3 assumptions is this equality. क्योंकि अगर ये equality नहीं हुई तो मैं Lagrange नहीं use कर सकता, अगर मैं Lagrange नहीं use कर सकता तो मैं Kuhn-Tucker में जाऊंगा जो मुझे नहीं करना. That's not required at your level. Okay, so I won't go into Kuhn-Tucker. So the way to do is you form a new equation which is called the Lagrangian. First you write whatever you want to maximize plus lambda times the constraint I minus p dot x. Okay. So the question a lot of times you get is ki should I write this I minus p dot x or should I write this p dot x minus I? The technically correct way, the conventionally correct way is the one we have written earlier. But the beauty of Lagrange is अगर तुम ये वाला भी assume करके चल लो तो भी आंसर गलत नहीं होगा, लैम्बडा बस अपना नेगेटिव हो जाएगा, that is all that will happen, remaining everything will remain same. Okay, so just the lambda value will give to a negative. Anyway, so right now I want to look at solving this problem. Okay, so solving Lagrange is like solving a Rubik's cube. The first time it looks very daunting, but once you realize that there's an algorithm to how to do it, you see videos of people doing it blindfolded. Okay, so people can do it blindfolded because there are steps to solve a Rubik's cube. Okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, so that's an algorithm basically. So इसको भी solve करने का एक algorithm होता है. But to get into an algorithm, first I need to figure out कि इसमें variables कितने हैं. ठीक है? So utility of x1 to xn plus lambda times I minus p1 x1 till pn xn. ठीक है? What I know is the income and the prices. Income तुम्हें पता है और prices तुम्हें पता है. What are the unknowns? x1, x2, xn. So ये n unknowns है तुम्हारे पास. And you have one unknown which is lambda. So you have a total of n plus 1 unknowns. So if you have n plus 1 unknowns, how many equations do you need? N plus 1 equations. So the very simple way to do Lagrange is जितने unknowns है उन सबके रिस्पेक्ट में Lagrangian function को partially differentiate कर दो. ठीक है? So you have what? Each xi is an unknown. So del Lagrange by del xi, this should be equal to 0 for all I belonging to 1 से लेके n. And the other equation is del Lagrange by del lambda is equal to 0. So ये रही तुम्हारी n equations and ये रही तुम्हारी 1 equation. You get your n plus 1 equations. So let us solve this. Let us do this differentiation. Now coming back to the Lagrangian function, this is your Lagrangian function. When you differentiate with respect to any of the goods xi, यहाँ पे you get del u by del xi, और यहाँ पे xi would be present pi xi के साथ. ठीक है? All the other terms will cancel out when you differentiate with respect to xi. Only this pi xi has xi in it. So when you differentiate pi xi with respect to xi, you get pi, बाहर एक माइनस है, so what you are left with is minus pi, और यहाँ पे एक lambda, so minus lambda into pi. ठीक है, so del u by del xi minus lambda into pi is equal to 0 for all I. Okay, and when you differentiate with respect to lambda, lambda is present only here. When you differentiate with respect to lambda, all this is multiplied with lambda, so ये ऐसा का ऐसा रहेगा. Now del Lagrange by del lambda equals to 0 is nothing but this thing equal to 0, and this thing is nothing but the budget constraint. I equals to p dot x, that's what you have written. I minus p dot x equals to 0, matlab I equals to p dot x, so this is nothing but the budget constraint. Okay, so you use the n equations here and the one equation here to get your n plus 1 equations. So let us analyze the first order conditions. The first thing is del Lagrange by del xi equals to this thing. So let us take any two goods xi and xj. This should be xi and xj. Let us take any two goods xi and xj. So when you differentiate Lagrange with respect to xi, you get del u by del xi minus lambda times pi is equal to 0. When you differentiate Lagrange with respect to xj, you get del u by del xj minus lambda times pj equals to 0. अब ये दोनों इक्वेशंस में right hand side is same, so left hand side must be same, so I can equate them. So I'll write del u by del xi minus lambda times pi is equal to del u by del xi minus lambda times pj. अब इसको rearrange कर दूंगा, so when I rearrange I get wait, एक easier way है इसको करने का. So when I rearrange this right here, I get del u by del xi equals to lambda pi, which implies del u by del xi upon pi is equal to lambda. Similarly here I'll get del u by del xi upon pj equal to lambda. Okay, now when I look at these two equations, the right hand side is same, so the left hand side must be same. So I equate the left hand sides, so I get del u by del xi upon pi must be equal to del u by del xj upon pj. When I rearrange this, I get del u by del xi upon del u by del xj equal to pi upon pj, which is nothing but your MRS equal to price ratio equation. ठीक है, हाँ कुछ भी होगा, या एज लॉन्ग एज, हाँ सबके लिए होगा. किसके केस में? इसमें सोल्यूशन आएगा ही नहीं ना, सॉल्व भी नहीं हो पाएगा. फिर आई एम सेइंग सॉल्व अगर हो गया, आई एम लेइंग डाउन द इक्वेशंस. अगर इक्वेशन सॉल्व भी नहीं हुई, व्हाट आई सेड इज कि इक्वेशन बना लो, आफ्टर यू गेट द इक्वेशन सॉल्व. अब सॉल्व होने के बाद मल्टीपल केसेस अगर आएंगे तो देन यू फाइंड किस कौन से केस में यूटिलिटी मैक्सिमम आएंगे. अगर नो सोल्यूशन आया तो फिर तुमको पता है कॉर्नर सोल्यूशन है. अगर यूनिक सोल्यूशन आया तो फिर इट्स क्लियर कि वही वाला तुम्हारा सोल्यूशन है, इसमें सोल्यूशन ही नहीं आएगा. दैट्स व्हाट विल हैपन. अगर कॉर्नर सोल्यूशन है तो इसको सॉल्व करोगे तो सोल्यूशन ही नहीं आएगा. ठीक है, सो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट एनीथिंग, इट वोंट बी सॉल्वेबल. ठीक है, यू जस्ट फॉलो द एल्गोरिथम, यू फॉलो द स्टेप्स. अपने आप अगर अटकेगा तो तुमको समझ में आ जाएगा कुछ गड़बड़ है. ठीक है, बट this is something I've already looked at. I want to look at this thing, what this means. So del u by del xi upon pi is equals to del u by del xj upon pj. Okay, now del u by del xi, this is marginal utility of I. A marginal utility of I is defined as increase in utility when consumption of good I increases by 1 unit. That's marginal utility का definition. ठीक है. अब अगर 1 यूनिट से तुमको गुड आई का कंजम्पशन बढ़ाना है तो एक्सपेंडिचर कितना करना होगा? नो, एक्सपेंडिचर कितना बढ़ाना होगा? अगर 1 यूनिट से गुड आई का कंजम्पशन बढ़ाना है तो गुड आई पे एक्सपेंडिचर कितना बढ़ाना होगा तुम्हें? प्राइस के बराबर, पी आई. So this could be looked as increase in utility when expenditure on good I increases by PI units. So marginal utility on good I is equal to increase in utility when expenditure on good I increases by PI units. So अगर तुम PI units extra spend करो good I पे तो marginal utility on good I is the amount जिससे utility तुम्हारी बढ़ेगी. So if you spend PI by 2 units तो marginal utility कितने से बढ़ेगी? So utility कितने से बढ़ेगी? MUI by 2. If you spend PI by 3 units so utility will go up by MUI by 3 units. ठीक है? So if you increase expenditure by 1 unit, that is इसको PI से divide कर दो. Then utility will go up by MUI by PI. So this is nothing but equal to 1. So MUI by PI is increase in utility when expenditure on good I increases by 1 unit. Okay? And what the condition says is MUI by PI, this is nothing but MUI by PI, and this is nothing but MUJ by PJ. This is marginal utility on good J. So what this condition says is effectively marginal utility on good I by PI is equals to marginal utility on good J by PJ. मतलब increasing expenditure on good I by 1 unit से जो change in utility होगा, it will be same as increasing expenditure on good J by 1 unit. So let's say तुमने अपना utility maximization कर लिया और उसके बाद तुम निकले घर से, सड़क पे जा रहे हो, तुम्हें सड़क पे एक रुपए का कॉइन मिला, 1 रुपए का कॉइन मिला. अब ये 1 रुपया तुम यहाँ पे स्पेंड करो या यहाँ पे स्पेंड करो, फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, बिकॉज यूटिलिटी विल चेंज बाय द सेम अमाउंट, बिकॉज MUI by PI is the change in utility when extra 1 rupees is spent on good I, and MUJ by PJ is extra utility you get by spending this 1 rupee on good J, and the optimization problem tells you कि ये दोनों चीजें बराबर है. So that's the idea of this problem, this equation. This equation says is कि optimization पे, like optimize करने के बाद, if you are walking on the road and you find this ₹1 coin lying, ये ₹1 तुम कौन से good पे spend कर रहे हो उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. But obviously if you find ₹100 then it is significant. Then you cannot use marginal वाले concepts. Marginal concepts only hold as long as the quantities are small. As quantities become significant, then it won't be कि 100 रुपए इस पे डालो या इस पे डालो, फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Then फर्क पड़ेगा. Then again you will solve another optimization problem. But the idea is at optima, if I give you a small amount of money, you can spend that money on any good. It does not matter. Spending it on any of the goods won't affect कि total utility कितने से बढ़ रही है. But if the amount is significant, then it would matter कि किस पे तुम spend कर रहे हो. Right? So that's your first condition, first order condition, first order condition. Okay. Obviously, when you rearrange it, you get marginal MRS equals to price ratio. But now, since you have multiple goods, you write this as MRS IJ equals to PI upon PJ. So MRS IJ is, so remember, MRS XY was amount of good Y exchanged for 1 unit of X. So ये definition थोड़ा तुमको याद रखना पड़ेगा. MRS XY is amount of good Y exchanged for 1 unit of good X. So MRS IJ is amount of good I exchanged for 1 unit of good J. ठीक है. So अगर तुम्हारे पास n goods है, there will be a total of NC2 different MRS pairs. NC2 is the number of ways of selecting 2 goods out of n. So अगर तुम्हारे पास 10 different goods है, so you will get 10C2, which is what, 45 different combinations of marginal rates of substitution. But each of these MRSs will be equal to the ratio of prices. ठीक है. So ये 45 के 45 अलग अलग MRS, they'll be equal to the 45 different price ratios. Okay, so remember, all this holds only if there is a non-corner solution. That's the tricky part. Okay, so all this holds only if you have a non-corner solution, and non-corner solutions happen in case of convexity. So इसलिए convexity को इतना ज़्यादा तवज्जो मिलता है economics में, because convexity ensures कि ये वाली चीज़ें सबके लिए hold करेगी. Otherwise, it will become a little bit complicated. Now, the other first order condition is lambda. The second order condition is this thing, which is nothing but your budget constraint. So budget constraint and MRS equals to price ratio. These things solved simultaneously will give you the optimum. और कुछ नहीं करना है, ये दोनों इक्वेशन बनानी है और उसको सॉल्व करना है. So this is the definition of marginal utility of X. This is the change in utility when X changes. So delta U by delta X. So if you change X by 1 unit, utility changes by delta U units. So marginal utility is delta U by delta X. Now when you equate this delta X with equal to 1, that becomes your just du value. Okay. So that's your marginal utility.